When you went to the Brigham and Women's Hospital, was she in her own room, or was she in like an open area?
She was in her own room.
When you were there on watch, did you go into the room, or were you outside the room?
Outside the room.
And as far as your memory of whether anyone else besides medical staff went in there, at any point when you were there at the Brigham Hospital, did you observe another individual come in to visit with her or meet with her?
Yes.
And were you advised that that person was coming in?
Yes.
And were you advised that that person was allowed in with a court order?
Yes.
Okay. When the person went in, did you know if it was an attorney, a doctor, or somebody else?
It was not an attorney, it wasn't a doctor. It was, I believe, a psychiatrist.
And when that person went into the room, did you go in the room as well?
No.
And where did you stay?
Outside the room.
And when this man went into the room, did he leave the door open or close the door?
I believe it was closed.
And when he came out, did he speak with you?
I don't recall.
Okay. But as far as you knew at that time period, that person was permitted to be in there and could close the door?
Correct.
And you don't know what was said or what was done in that room?
No. No.
Thank you.
Mr. Reddington.
So your position was as a sergeant for the state police on these dates that you testified to?
No, sir. At the time, I was a trooper.
Trooper.
Yes, sir.
You assigned to the district attorney's office?
Yes, sir.
It would be the Plymouth County DA's office, meaning these prosecutors here, right?
Correct, sir.
Actually, you have an office in their office, right?
Correct, sir.
You don't have to call me sir. So on the first time you got involved with this case was on the evening of, was it the 24th or 23rd?
Tuesday. I think it was the 24th.
Okay. And do you recall what time it was that you went there?
To the South Shore Hospital?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Approximately 7:30 p.m.
Now, at that point, you had known, obviously, that this was a major investigation involving the death of 2 children and 1 serious injury to another child. Is that correct?
Correct.
The media was absolutely insane all over the location of the house and in the hospitals and everywhere. Isn't that right?
I recall media at the house. I'm not sure about the hospital stuff.
Okay. It was a fairly horrific and largely attended to, if you will, event. Is that correct?
Yes.
And Lindsay was, when you went to the South Shore Hospital, that's where you saw her before she was transferred to the Brigham and Women's, right?
Yes.
When you went in to see her at the South Shore Hospital, she was in the emergency room, right?
Yes.
Would you agree with me that she was pretty well, she had the intubation tube in her mouth, she had tape on her face, she had her arms all taped up and wires and tubes and everything else, right?
Yes.
And it was a very confusing and, quite frankly, shocking sight to walk into that room and see her there in that condition, right?
Yes.
And you, about your duty, collected clothing and her wedding band, correct?
Yes.
And you went through all that with the items you seized, and you introduced those into evidence and noted what the government said appears to be stains, but it was blood on her clothing. Is that right?
I would say. Yeah.
In your experience?
Yes.
Okay. Any shoes? Did she have any shoes, sneakers, slippers, anything like that?
I don't recall shoes. I think 2 black socks, but I don't recall shoes.
Right. If there were shoes on her person or brought to the hospital, the odds are that when they saved the clothing, they would have saved the shoes as well, right?
Yes.
So you took the clothing, and then you went to the Boston Children's Hospital, right?
Yes.
And after you left the Boston Children's Hospital, you went back to the house and then assisted in the search of the property with a search warrant?
Yes.
And were you the lead investigator at that point, or were you one of the guys just searching?
I was not the lead investigator.
But there was a court order, search warrant, right?
Yes.
And you, meaning collectively you, knew that you had a search warrant that authorized a search for a number of items, including medications or pills or pill bottles, right?
Yes.
I don't have to grab this and ask if you saw this. You never did see that, did you?
I did not recall seeing that, sir.
You don't know what, if anything, was inside that item, right?
I don't know.
And counsel asked you whether or not it's a collaborative effort on the part of the detective units and that you all collaborate and work together. Can you explain that? Do you report to each other? Do you keep each other advised as to what you get for evidence?
Yep. So when we go into a house, we're not familiar with the layout. We'll walk the house and figure out where bedrooms are located, and then essentially we kind of just break up into teams, if you will, and search the residence as evidence is located. And at that time, as the evidence officer, I would be alerted that, hey, there's evidence here. We're going to document and collect it.
Okay. And you videotape the scene and you take photographs of the areas, the different rooms, right?
I do not, but crime scene does.
But you were in the house and you were able to observe the rooms. You could see all sorts of wall hangings and paintings and fingerprints and handprints and all that stuff on the wall, right?
Yes.
Downstairs, you saw in the basement or the finished basement that there was an area that was an office or appeared to be an office. Is that correct?
I don't recall the exact layout of the basement.
Do you remember that items were seized from the basement, like a Mac Pro laptop, something like I have right here? There were two of them that were seized. You remember that?
Yes.
And from your investigation, you're aware that those would have been Pat Clancy's laptops, his business and personal laptop, correct?
At the time, I'm not sure who the laptops belonged to, but I know they were collected.
Okay. And how about Lindsay Clancy's, her cell phone? Was that seized, if you know?
I believe that was seized from the master bedroom.
From the master bedroom. And do you remember, was it located on the bed?
There was a phone located on the bed. I think there was another phone located in a dresser drawer. I'm not sure which phone was what, though.
All right. So both of those phones, regardless which one was what, did either one of them have blood on them?
I don't recall.
But if you guys were seizing the items in the property, such as the cell phone that had blood on it, in your experience, you probably would have remembered that, right?
Correct.
And you don't remember that?
I don't.
Okay. You did notice a lot of blood on the floor and on the walls, on the mirror and the window ledge and that area. Is that fair?
I recall blood on the floor by the mirror and then blood on the floor going towards that back right window.
Okay. At no time did you ever come across or discover a, what do you call it, Apple Watch, right?
No, sir.
And after you all concluded your search of the home, and how long did that take? A couple of hours?
Probably. I don't recall the exact time we concluded.
Okay. The next thing you did was to go to the Brigham and Women's Hospital, is that right?
After the search warrant?
Yeah, she had asked you a question about Brigham and Women's. I mean, did you do something else in between? I don't know.
I don't recall exactly what I did after the search warrant, but at some point I did go to the Brigham.
Okay. Can you tell us when you went to the Brigham?
I don't recall the exact date.
All right, so whatever date you went to the Brigham, you went there for what purpose?
She was transferred to that facility, and it was to maintain custody of her at that point.
So you were going to maintain custody of her?
So the sheriffs, I believed,
Right.
had custody of her, and then our unit was tasked to facilitate providing coverage over the next couple of days.
Right, and she was actually in the bed with all, again, tubes and all sorts of things coming out of her body when you saw her, right?
Yeah, she was in the hospital bed.
And she was in like an emergency room. It was a little small room with a lot of machines in it that took up a lot of space, right?
I don't think she was in the emergency room. She was in one of the floors.
One of the floor rooms, but it was an intensive care unit, right?
I believe it could have been the surgical intensive care unit.
Surgical intensive care. And when you went there to facilitate custody, who were you facilitating custody for? The DA's office?
Yes, essentially.
Okay. And whatever